So we're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Sculpt Text once again, and we have an interesting guest here with us today, a design thinker, facilitator, and also someone that has a lot to offer. Today we have a topic that is very interesting, and we're going to be letting that out after I read her bio. Her name is Claudia Spinell. Very interesting. She's from Argentina, and she's a seasoned innovation expert, facilitator, and the CEO of the New Mindset Lab. With extensive experience in design thinking, visual storytelling, and mentoring, she has developed innovative programs like the Big Shaker Methods and the Visual Genius program. Claudia also translates and writes on creative methodologies, empowering individuals and teams to solve problems and innovate effectively. So welcome, Claudia, to the show today. We're so glad to have you here. And, on this show, like I mentioned to you earlier, everyone on this show that comes up is a tech sculptor. We all are tech sculptors as long as we have a smartphone. As long as we have a smartphone in our hands, we are tech sculptors because we are texting, we are sculpting, and we're doing a lot with our phones. So you are our tech sculptor for today.
Hi, Ben. Nice to meet you again. My name is Claudia. I'm a tech sculptor, of course. I am.
Awesome. Awesome. So today we're going to be jumping right into the topic, and we're going to try as much as possible to be swift and just go on with what we have for you today on the show. Very interesting topic, and I just want to hear, but before we jump into the topic, just tell us a little bit about some of the interesting, amazing things you've been doing in Argentina as to my New Mindset Lab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the New Mindset Lab is as the name says, is a lab where we create new methodologies and new methods, programs, whatever, improve education. The idea is to bring teachers. We have also a course that we name Teaching Teachers, because we do capacitation and we do training for teachers, so they can find the possibility of find kids and teenagers and also adults nowadays that is so difficult to find ways to apart people from social media, to apart people from all kind of influences that are not the same when I was a child, when I was at school, and also when people used to pay attention, ask, may I ask a question, or ask the teacher everything for permission. Nowadays it's not like that, so we have to manage all that situations, and we have to be able to give the teachers the possibility of dealing with these kind of things. And also, I'm from the other side too, because I think students are not having an easy time today. So both of them have to develop in different situations. Students have many others topics where they are being, I don't know how to say it, but they are having a bomb continuous on their mind about the phones with the notifications about all the social media. If they are more than 40, many times they don't know how to manage the situation. because they are not they are just learning how to use them. People from more than 50 or more than 45 years are not available to manage these situations in a good way, or the way that teenagers or adults. Kids are more easy, but teenagers are the big issue here. I think if you use some special um, items like um, being so open to ask them open questions, make them be curiosity, because what you are going to show to them, make them be some kind of investigations, some kind of scientific items that motivate them to do things that are not the common things, because they have the common things. They are more motivated that what there were the students 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They have a motivation, a completely different motivations nowadays. And they have also something that we didn't have, like communities, private communities inside social media. They have something that put them always in the point of view of others, like if when they compare one to another, when they think about they are not the good ones, or they are not the most interesting, or they are not the most beautiful, or they are not whatever it says. So that's an issue for teenagers. It's a very big problem, a very big deal to manage, and also teachers,
Yeah.
because all the teachers have know the way of managing this. There is no way nowadays to say them, do not do that, or be stay here, stay there. That's nothing for children nowadays. They
So
don't understand
yeah, I want
what
to
to do
jump in.
when.
I want to jump in on this. You said a lot because this now set the ground for us to begin our topic for today, which is mind wandering in the digital age, navigating
Yes,
focus, navigating focus amidst constant connectivity. Now, because of this connectivity and social
that's
networks and all these things, a lot of young people, including adults, have mind wandering that occurs because
right.
to focus now becomes a challenge because every now and then the phone is seeking for your attention and is distracting you from the task or from the very thing you are called to do. So, how do you think mind wandering influences creativity and problem solving in a digital connected world?
The big problem is if they are not interested in what you are them, they will be thinking in what the phone is sending to them. They will be focusing in notifications and talking with another friends, or doing what social media offers to them. You have to offer more than social media. That's a challenge,
Yeah, it is a big
because
challenge.
you have to be clever than Google, you have to be clever than TikTok, you have to be clever than all Meta, or whatever is the social media you use. And that's a challenge for teachers, to give them some kind of emotional situation, a
Yeah,
beautiful context, a challenging succeed in the classes. And also, you have to use um, many tools that I think in our lab we use them came from the agile tools like design thinking, visual thinking, sketchnoting, critical thinking, framing the problem. All these kind of tools make them to be focused because all of them have stages. You have to be prototyping, you have to be thinking, ideation, you have to iterate, them all have different situations in which you have to focus, you have to put your mind on them, and you can't be wondering whatever happens around. Yeah. So I think these are the best tools a teacher could use today. We use them in our Visual Genius program to teach them to understand what they are reading in reading comprehension, because that's one of the big issues here, because children or teenagers don't read so much. The time the people used
attention
to read
span,
years ago, well, now it's the phone, the issue, the tools everybody use, or ebooks or whatever. Also, it's not a good idea to use the phone when they are in the bedroom, for example. It's not a good idea to use social media when they are with the family. And when you are at school, if you want to use it, teachers have to make them, frame them inside a structure that made them be able to be focused only on that problem, framing the problem. Well, how might we, like the common question of the design thinking, well, how is the big question here. So they will be focusing in what they have to do, and they during all the process, they will be challenging themselves to do it better, because they will begin to have more big challenges, of course, in that process they are doing. So I think it's the best tool a teacher can use. Now, you can't say student today, well, take your book, I'm going to dictate you. No, it's impossible.
Interesting. I'm so happy you're talking about this, because we are most times as a teacher trainer, you are preparing teachers for training the leaders of tomorrow. So you are, as much as possible, trying to give them the right tool to be able to harness the creativity in the children, and also to enhance their focus, to ensure that they are not distracted by whatever tools around, or their phones, or whatever it is they are using to learn at the same time. So design thinking is one tool that will help harness mind wandering for innovation as much as possible. But let me just follow up with the question, like, what strategies do you recommend for balancing focus and mind wandering in creative processes?
One of the main tools you have is to make them work together. When they work together, they have a responsibility, because they are part of a group, there are others, and they have to respond to what the others are doing. So how you call them, those kind of programs or platforms that are like Miro or Mural or those which are collaborative
Tools,
programs.
collaborative tools, yeah.
That platforms help them to be focusing in what they have to they use post-its in the platform. They can use another kind of role, and they use features, image, all that things that make them to be responsible of all the group. Each one is responsible to finish what they are doing.
Yeah.
The challenge is to finish that. And the other group, not the enemy, but it's a group that are doing another challenge.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good structure, because I always ask the teachers, what do you want them to be in the future? So what do you are teaching them now? Because if you are teaching them what my teacher taught me when I was 16, it's impossible for me to be someone in the future now, because we don't know what is going to be the world in 10 years or in 15 years. We have no idea. Yeah. So it's possible to be to do an education system like the one we used 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's impossible. Yeah. If we are going, as you say, if we are going to educate the future leaders, so we have to do it with the future education, because otherwise we are going to have the same kind of people we have 20 years.
Yeah, so, I really agree.
New tools.
Yeah, I agree. And it's so interesting because I know that you've done so much when it comes to incorporating design thinking in training teachers to ensure that they use such process to be able to teach their pupils in school or their students. And that is very novel. And you have vast experience, years and decades of experience, because you are a lecturer at some point and you're also a teacher before you transgress into becoming a consultant and also a trainer for teachers. That's very profound and that's interesting because your experience is now, you are now transferring that experience into helping others train the future generation. And it's very interesting because design thinking is actually a very good tool because it originates from today's kind of world, you know. So if we can incorporate that into our curriculum, it will help a lot of the young people to understand what to do and how to solve problems in real time and how to collaborate together to be able to walk through problems and solve them in real time, not to get distracted, because once you are working together with a team, there's no way you will not have something meaningful to contribute, because everybody in that team must say something or must add value to that must bring their own solution or their own perspective to that solution or to the problem they're trying to solve. And that's very profound. So I also wanted to just speak briefly about Visual Genius. What's it about?
Visual Genius is a program that I myself developed with a partner about using all the tools of visual thinking and sketchnoting, so the student can be able to make some kind of storytelling, some kind of storyboard to understand what is in the book. Wow. If they have to, I don't know, describe a battle, describe a revolution, French Revolution, well, they are going to, but not in some kind of artistic way. No. They are going to use simple lines, simple doodles if you want, because the first thing you are going to say, you are going to listen is, I don't know how to draw.
Yeah.
I never draw is not my issue.
Yeah.
To fight with that, we developed kind of icons that they are so easy, like
Oh.
the David in game
Yeah.
storming, you know,
Yeah.
those one do a doodle and you put them the legs and
Yeah.
the eye and the wings, and you have a beautiful bird. Okay, that's the idea. You have to do what you can. It's not a problem if you have an untidy draw. If it's not an artistic, the teacher will understand what you're saying. That's the point. That the teacher or your fellow companions understand what you're saying. This is the idea. My idea is that this begins here, this is the other moment, and this is the final moment. That's the idea. So you can understand and you can remember. Because when you use neuroscience to study all these things, you know, visual image
Yeah.
are 5% more that you remember something. You remember more the draws and the visual that what is wrote there in the book. It's incredible. But if you do some kind of exercise now, and I say you, Ben, what do you remember about, I don't know, what you learned when you were 16 about book? You are going to see an image in your that will remember, there was a draw, there was an image or something like that. It's impossible you to remember.
Yeah. Visual
all the
learning is the
names.
best. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Visual learning is actually the best. Yeah. I agree with you. It's true. Visual learning is actually very important because it makes you, especially for young people, it makes you remember. Even adults, when you visually learn some things, it's very difficult for you to forget because it sticks, and that's very interesting. So I'm really going to say I'm happy that you came onto this show, and I would actually speak to you about something that came to my mind while we were talking. Maybe later after the show, I'll send you a message and all that because what you're doing is very interesting and very important. You need to ship it over to Africa.
Hey now, what's the buzz? Text evolving, it's all because